Democrat wanting to have hearings on this meeting between Vladimir Putin and Donald Trump. To what end? And I would answer that question already. I'll let you answer, but I'll answer it. It's just simply to embarrass the 45th president of the United States during an election season.
Graham, think about the last year and a half. Taxes are down. The economy is roaring. Unemployment's at its lowest it's been in 20 years. Gorsuch is on the court. Kavanaugh's a great pick. Foreign policy-wise, we're out of the Iran deal. The embassy is going to Jerusalem. The China summit was that Asia trip was great for the president. He's been to North Korea. The hostages have come home from North Korea. How about we just look at what has happened in a year and a half and judge those things, judge the actions, judge the results, judge this president keeping his word. That, to me, is what we should focus on, and instead of some hearing that the Democrats want to have about what may or may not have happened behind closed doors at a summit in Helsinki with the Russian president.
Speaking of hearing, I think this is the perfect weapon for the Democrat Party, the fascist left, the mainstream media, to distract from what is going on and has been going on in Capitol Hill on Monday, on Friday in particular, with Lisa Page. Also throw in there Strzok and Rosenstein and the ongoing drama with James Comey. You got to hear some testimony from Lisa Page. We've heard from some of your colleagues, Congressman Mark Meadows, saying that she's much more believable. That's all well and good, but this all fits together as pieces to a puzzle, does it not? What's your impressions, and where is this going?
Well, I think the main thing we learned last week in the Strzok hearing was when Peter Strzok admitted that there were different versions of the dossier, and some of what the FBI got on the dossier came through Bruce Orr, whose wife worked for Fusion. Bruce Orr, of course, one of the high-ranking officials in the Justice Department. So this kind of circular way they got the dossier, which, of course, we know was the basis for going to the secret court to get the secret warrant to spy on Carter Page. That, to me, was one of the big takeaways from that hearing. You couple that with what some of the other members of our committee got Mr. Strzok to admit, namely, when he was kicked off of Mueller's team, Bob Mueller didn't even ask him about the text messages. He didn't ask him. It was a 15-minute meeting. See you later. Get out of here. We're embarrassed by what you said in these text messages between you and Lisa Page. He didn't ask him, were you biased? What did this one mean? What did that one mean? So, in my judgment, this investigation was flawed from the start because it started with the dossier. That was the basis for getting the secret warrant at the secret court. And then it was flawed at the end when Peter Strzok, the key agents, kicked off the Mueller's team, and they don't even ask him important questions about all these text messages that show the animus he had towards our president. So I think those were sort of the two big takeaways from Peter Strzok, the key agent who ran the Clinton investigation and who ran the Russian investigation.
All right, I agree with you, except the one part you said that Mueller's embarrassed. I don't know if it's embarrassed. I think he was exposed, because I think Peter Strzok would be on that team right now if it wasn't for the Inspector General exposing these text messages. And that's the disgusting part. So when we zoom out, Congressman, we look at the big picture, where is this going? You folks are doing a great job uncovering the truth, hopefully. The Democrats are obfuscating, which is apparently their job now on Capitol Hill. But where is this ultimately going in some sort of prosecutorial perspective?
Well, we'll see. There's been a criminal referral for Andy McCabe, who lied 3 times under oath, according to the Inspector General. So we'll see. What I do know is the top people at the FBI have either been fired or have left. I mean, think James Comey has left the FBI. Deputy FBI Director Andy McCabe has been fired from the FBI. Jim Rubicki, Chief of Staff, has left the FBI. Jim Baker, former Chief Counsel, was demoted and then left the FBI. Lisa Page, one of the key players in the Russian investigation, the Clinton investigation, has left the FBI. And, of course, then there's Peter Strzok, who's been demoted and now has lost his clearance at the FBI. So when have you ever seen a federal agency where the top people, the key people who ran the 2 biggest investigations, the Clinton investigation and the Trump-Russia investigation, when have you ever seen all of them either be fired, demoted, reassigned, or left? When have you ever seen that? So this shows you how serious this is. Yeah. And the problem we face now is the Department of Justice won't give us the information we've asked for. They're not in compliance with 2 separate subpoenas. We know that Rod Rosenstein, according to media reports, has threatened House Intelligence Committee staffers. And we know that they took the dossier to the secret court and didn't tell the court 2 important facts, Graham. They didn't tell the court who paid for the document, namely the Clinton campaign and the Democrat National Committee. And they didn't tell the court the guy who wrote it, Christopher Steele, had been fired by the FBI because he was out leaking information to the press. So if you and I go to court, we got to tell the whole truth, nothing but the truth, all the truth. The FBI, when they go to the courts, you have to do the same darn thing, and they didn't.
So what about...
That's what's at stake here. We just need this information so we can get answers.
Want to see more videos like this? Click on the link below and subscribe to One American News on YouTube. And call your cable provider and kindly demand that One American News is added to your lineup. Call and subscribe today.